Hi, welcome to day 4, where I tell you the craziest story you're ever going to hear of the things that have been happening to me and my friends and my family while I go through a 40-day water-only fast for spiritual reasons. Like I said before, I'm not doing the fast for weight loss, but I have lost 8.3 pounds up to this point. Today has for sure been the hardest. Really weak, have trouble getting up, foggy, really exhausted. I think my body's switching over, which is good. So hopefully it'll start to get better after today. But this is definitely not easy. But so you guys know, the reason I'm doing this all publicly this way, one, it's a lot of information. I need to break it up so people can digest it. I've tried to give everybody all the information at once, and it's really tough. But also, I want you guys to take me seriously. Nobody in their right mind, one, would be telling you all this crazy shit and also doing this at the same time. So I'm hoping that'll help validate some of this, and I encourage you to go look up some of this stuff so that you can see I'm not pulling stuff out of my rear. This is stuff you can look up on a lot of it, so I encourage you to dig into it. And if you have any questions anywhere along the way, feel free to leave them in the comments, and I'll respond as much as I can. So back to the weird stuff. So yesterday, for the last couple days, we talked through that I'm a DMT expert, and things have gotten weird for me and my family since then. We've learned that DMT is the mechanism that allows consciousness, God, Holy Spirit, ether, whatever you want to call it. That's how it connects. So, and the more that you have in you, the more you are able to perceive that realm that is extremely weird. And but it's also it's the most incredible, gorgeous stuff you'll ever see. Made a couple notes. So we talked about the DMT laser experiment and Danny Goler and the matrix style code that runs through all of that. I'll post a video in more depth of that, I think, at some point later. After we get through the story and we get into more kind of discussing through these topics in depth, I'll post some videos, and we'll post some photos so you guys can see the comparison between the current document. So that proves that the DMT space is real. If we find something outside of the DMT realm that it connects to, that also that there's a UAP reverse engineering program that's held through private companies. And so at that point, we talked about the point of gnosis, which is what we're going to talk about today. This is something I'm calling it the point of gnosis. So if you're not familiar with that term, if you're agnostic, you're unsure, but you're searching. But if you're gnostic, you know gnosis. But it's more than knowing or learning. It's some people might refer to it as inner stand, like at the core of your soul. There is no doubt. You know what's happening. You know what's going on. You know something's real. And when you get with DMT, the moment that you know that it's real, this isn't faith. This is gnosis. It starts to shift. The interactions. It pulls back this veil of the psychedelic-y stuff and starts to interact with you on an extremely consistent basis. We'll start seeing people who have reached the stage start seeing that similar things that come up every trip. I have a unique experience with me. It's something I've tried to find anybody whose house has had this experience. So far, I'm the only one I know, and a lot of people in the DMT world would say that I'm crazy because it's something that nobody ever says. I've had an entity that is with me 100% of the time. Every time I've taken DMT for the last 5 years, I can only see her when my eyes are open on a trip, but I can see where she is an energy being, and she will move into mostly electronic things. Like a lot of the time she'll be in my fan, but she'll be in my car. Like if I was in my car doing it by a little park, then she'd take over my electronic stereo. She'd make my steering wheel dance. And like if the fans if they're one of the long rods that hang, she'll do the most incredible dances. But she's with me all the time. And as I've gotten to know her and realized that this was real, I started realizing I could tell where she's at when I blink. So when I blink, it'll be like a little glitch in whatever she's in. Like Danny Goller talks about the console that shows up every time. It's like this gigantic computer system that shows up that looks like a spaceship, opens up and has all sorts of screens that he can do stuff with. But it took me a long time to get to that point. It took Danny, like just the most bizarre. If you hear a story, I'd encourage you to look up his story. So many synchronicities led him to the discovery. And then, but the way he knew it is that that being was teaching him how to play something on the guitar. He's like, oh wait, no, this is actually makes sense. I can actually do this. And so that was his moment. I've gotten some people to the point now to where before they even try DMT, we talk about all of the things that would remove the veil of whatever this is, and they're hitting that point of gnosis. The first one that did it within a week. I've never tried it, got there in a week, and then now we're getting to the point to where they just start out that way. If they first time they've ever done it. It takes, for me, I think it's different for everybody and what that point is or what causes you to get to that point. But a lot of exploration, a lot of understanding for this kind of stuff, where I'm talking and teaching you the things that I've learned. I can abbreviate a significant, I mean, I've done this hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of times. And and it took me being a polymath and a bizarre amount of knowledge to be able to connect all the dots. I can eliminate that for everybody. I'll teach people how to do that later. But talking about this kind of stuff is part of what helps. It conditions the mind to understand that there's more to DMT than we ever understood. And people question that for a long time, but we are going to prove it. So continue to follow along. That point of gnosis is extremely important. But now this is where everything starts to unlock. From that point, everything got really, really weird. And I have been living in a sci-fi film for the last 6 months. And so has my family, and so has my friends. Actually, anybody that I've gotten to this point. So I've got a colleague that hit this point of gnosis where electrical interference and stuff around us is, once you reach that point, seems to be consistent. I don't know why yet. I have a colleague that has reached for a glass twice, and it just completely exploded. And it will also control my electronics. There are things that we need to do. Like if I'm playing PlayStation too long, and I can get the feeling that I need to be focusing on the spiritual stuff and the DMT stuff, it will shut my PlayStation off. This is happening to many people. But the trick to get to that point, I'm not even sure why it's there yet, but the trick to getting to that point was getting to that point of gnosis. So I will start showing you guys tomorrow the really crazy stuff. So buckle up. It's going to get really wild, but I'm glad you're here. Continue with me on this journey. I'm hoping I feel a little better tomorrow, and then I'll talk to you then. Have a great day.